Let's back up 6 months, when we were crossing the border from San Diego into Tijuana, Mexico. Mexico was supposed to be the first segment of our 10-year journey around the world. 6 amazing months in Mexico, touring everything this beautiful country had to offer, including 8 weeks in Baja with all of its beautiful beaches. We ended Baja in La Paz, where we crossed an item off Curt's bucket list: swimming with a whale shark. This was the most amazing experience, and I cannot even put it into words. But coming with this experience was a really bad ear infection for Curt, which meant we had to go find some antibiotics. And although you can get most medication in Mexico without a prescription, you need a prescription for antibiotics. So we headed to the doctor. 50 pesos is about $2.50. 20 minutes later, Curt comes out with his prescription, walks next door, picks up his antibiotics, and was on the road to recovery. Now, let's head to the mainland. After spending 2 months in the Baja Peninsula, that left us with 4 months left on our 6-month travel visa for Mexico. Now, 4 months may seem like a long time, but Mexico is a big, beautiful country with so many things to see, including the monarch butterfly migration, which we were lucky enough to catch in Michoacan, Mexico. By now, Curt was almost over his ear infection, and along with the ear infection came a pretty good cold. But he was just about over that too, had a bit of a cough lingering. So after a beautiful day with the butterflies, we headed back to our campsite, where we were happy to see a French family that we had met back in Baja on the beaches. So we had a campfire, and that night when Curt had a little bit of a cough, they were asking a little bit about it because they knew a bit more about this whole coronavirus thing, because their French friends back home were already dealing with it a bit more than our friends back in the States. So this would probably be the first time we had a serious conversation about what does this coronavirus thing really look like, and what is it going to do with our travel plans? That night, Curt and I decide that it's time to start taking a more serious look at this coronavirus thing. So we start to do our research and tune into the news back home a bit more. But while this is going on, we're headed north, further into the mountains of Mexico, where we have found a hidden gem. So let's check that out while we're putting some plans in place for the virus.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic.
And just like that, guys, we're in the jungle. So that up there is a bunch of oropendulas nesting. So if you can see those things hanging down. Now, admittedly, the light's not very good, so I will get a better picture. But just listen to these things. So guys, we're here at the Edward James Sculpture Garden, and this place is super cool. It's in the jungle, and they have all these sort of surreal structures and little walkways and pathways and leading back to this waterfall, but just all the big pretty flowers and plants and birds and butterflies and fauna, rock formations and these quirky structures just make this place super cool. Highly recommend this place. Keep in mind there are a ton of up and down steps, and so but this place is absolutely amazing. Snow, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, so this guy was a big surrealist and believed in the surrealist art movement a lot. He actually donated a lot of money to help Dali get started. We've heard Dali actually worked for him for a couple of years before, he became his own big-time artist. This guy inherited a ton of wealth and seemed to give it all back to the surrealist art movement. And this place is cool.
Super cool place, guys.
Sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
Snow's inside uploading a video, but last night we stayed at this park by the river. So we were the classic van down by the river, but there was actually, it was a little community park, and it was pretty cool. They had this big giant turtle that kids could play on, and they had there was a school like playground there, but there was kids sparring boxing on that, and they were pretty good. Loads of birds, of course, boats to rent, nice hiking trails, and all that type of stuff. But what was kind of peculiar is they had a little car wash set up there. So, you could pay a guy a few pesos and back your car down with your wheels by the river, and they'd wash your car off. And so, a unique place. But I was just checking out the news, and, I think this COVID thing, it's a little bit scary. I don't know what's going on with it, but we just researched it a little bit, and I don't know if we're going to be able to stay in Mexico or if we're going to have to go back to the U.S., but we've got a place a couple hours north. It's on our bucket list that we're headed to, so it's headed in the direction of the United States if we have to get out of here. But they have good internet there, so we're going to hunker down probably there for a couple days and just try to figure out if this thing is going to get serious or what's going to happen. So anyway, check us out at the Cascadas.
Guys, we have found another absolutely amazing place here in Mexico. Can't see it just yet, but right down there behind those trees is our van. It's where we're camping for the night. So we were just finishing up those yummy tacos that Curt made. Sitting here by the waterfall.
Can't make this stuff up, guys.
No. A local lady comes walking up to this secluded campsite.
We're sitting here minding our own business.
With this thing.
It's got big chunks of pineapple.
Mango.
Yeah, I think that's a whole mango. 2 straws, umbrella. And it's like full of pineapple juice. So you know I had to go get some ice.
And a little bit of rum.
Yeah. So we're probably going to get in there.
And drink this. Yes, we are.
Everybody's looking for a ride in the water slide. Water slide.
So for the past 2 days here at the waterfalls, we have been relaxing and enjoying ourselves and really taking in the beauty of this place during the day. But at night, we have been on our phones, we've been watching the news, we've been talking to friends and family at home, and we have been doing a ton of research because we have to make the decision of, do we stay here in Mexico or do we need to pack up and go home for the coronavirus? Well, we have made that decision. We are going to stay in Mexico. And that is a big decision, guys, because once we made that one, we know that there's no turning back because the borders are going to close. So then we have to pick out where we want to ride out this virus. So we have found a town down on the southern coast of Mexico, and that's where we're headed. It's about a 20-hour drive. We're going to spread it out over 5 or 6 days because there's 2 or 3 places along the way that are on our bucket list that we're going to stop in and see on our way down. But then we think we'll probably be in this town for a month, maybe even 2. So that's our plan. But first up, we're going to go check out some ruins that are about an hour and a half north of Mexico City. So let's go. So guys, I just realized this whole afternoon that has gone absolutely haywire. We have not updated you guys at all. But we had been in the ruins, which is a national park here. We'd been in there for about 20 minutes when the guards showed up and just literally started shutting everything down and kicking us out. Now yesterday, nothing was closed in Mexico. Today, they literally started shutting stuff down while we were there. So we've changed our plans a bit. We're still headed to the coast. We're still sticking to the town we picked. But we are skipping that 5 or 6 day leisurely drive down there where we were going to stop and see bucket list items. We have drove 5 hours since they kicked us out of the park. It got dark, so we have found a town called Puebla, and that's where we're hunkering down for the night. Tomorrow is going to be an incredibly long day. I'm sorry we didn't video any of the stuff this afternoon, but it got crazy and it got a little bit scary. And tomorrow is going to be a 15-hour drive through the mountains. I'll just have to see how much we can video that for you guys, but we're going to get to the town we're headed to at dark, have to sleep in a parking lot, get up the next morning and find somewhere to hunker down. So it's been a long day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. When we sat down to make this video for you guys to kind of explain our thought process when deciding what to do through the virus, I realized on this final day, we only have a couple of video clips. But I thought I'd show you this map to show you that on that last day, we drove from Puebla all the way down to the city that we're in now, Puerto Escondido. And the hard part about this drive is look at all those curves. This was a very long, stressful day because we knew we had to get to those mountains before the sun went down. But we did. We pulled in just as the sun was going down. We found a nice parking lot where we felt safe. We spent the night. The next morning we got up and we were very, very lucky to stumble up on the place that you've probably seen if you've been watching our videos. This little bungalow we rented here in this great town. We thought we'd only be here a month, but it's 3 months later, guys, and we're still here, hunkered down. So the problem is, we're coming up on our visa expiration date, which we never thought was going to be an issue. But now, we've got to head down to the immigration office tomorrow and beg and see if they're going to give us an extension. If not, we might have to figure out how to head back to the States right when this coronavirus is at its peak here in Mexico. So we'll tell you how that goes. But for now, good night, and we'll see you guys in a few days. If you liked this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when we put out new videos. To see behind-the-scenes action and help support our journey, head over to our YouTube membership page. You can find the link in the video description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in a few days.